Good morning, Ricky. So, yeah, last night we just got this car running and it seems to run really good, but it's earned its new nickname, the Shit Show. So tell us what's happening now.
So after we parked it last night, or I guess night, even before we parked it.
We drove it a couple miles.
We drove a couple miles, everything ran good, came up temperature, everything good, and then we pulled in the driveway, put it in park, and then low oil pressure light came on. So we shut it off right away.
And then we just left it there. So now, this morning, we checked the oil, checked the water.
Last night you saw that it seemed like it was leaking oil.
A little bit of seeping from the oil pressure sending unit area. So we're going to investigate that. That's what we're going to do. No oil light this morning. The engine looks too good inside when we had it apart to have had a low oil pressure issue.
And it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with what we just worked on. This is a completely separate issue. This car's got a few other quirks with it. We know why they got rid of it. Let's just say that. But it's a beautiful car. Leather. Yeah. Okay, we're going to climb underneath and let's see what we can see and we'll let you know. Well, it's real hard to see, and I probably can't even show you from here. We put her up on blocks, lifted, got the car in the way of the lift. Looked at the oil pressure sending unit. Everything seems fine around it. I disconnected it, reconnected it in case we have a bad connection, and we're going to warm it up again. I think we are going to you're going to buy yourself a new pressure sending unit, and we'll just swap it out. We don't have to drive this every day yet, so we'll get this done. And just thinking too, I thought we had an oil leak last night, but because I saw oil on my finger, but remember the oil was like dark and
it was some old oil.
Old oil. We just put a fresh oil change in it before starting all back up.
It's clean and full.
Right. So that could have been from when we were dripping everything when the cover was off.
Right, and where we did, you still can't see, where we did our work, everything looks good. It's nice and sealed up, so yeah. We're gonna just take it out, drive it, see if we can recreate it. I really don't think we have an oil pressure problem. Seems like the sending unit, but we're gonna find out.
Right.
All right, we
drove it around a little bit. As you can see, it's not quite up to temperature yet. We got the heat running. But last night, that low oil pressure light came on when we were sitting here at idle. So being that close to warm, maybe we can trigger it. But if it doesn't come on the next couple minutes, we'll probably drive it around a little bit more, get a little more temperature back into it. All right, the oil light or the oil pressure light came on, but when you rev it, it goes away. So I guess
how's it going, Ricky? So you got the part we need?
I believe so.
The oil pressure sending unit. It's got the same single pin connection we have under the car.
Yep.
And really hard to see. But if you go by the oil filter up and to the left and unplug it.
Yep. I feel the
connection.
Yeah, you can see the connection right here. So
Let's see what we got.
It's not far from there.
Okay, let go. Yep. Hard to see without a light on it. In any case, we're gonna change the connector out or change the sensor out and see if that fixes the problem.
Hopefully that's all it is.
Yeah, shouldn't take too long. So that's a 13/16 deep socket, fits right over it. Should be able to just pull that thing right off.
Yeah, if we can get the...
Can you get the wrench on it?
Wrench on it. Might be close.
You getting it?
Yeah, I've had to throw a small extension on it, and I can turn about 2 clicks on the ratchet at a time. Just anticipating all the oil's gonna come pouring on my head from that little...
I don't think we'll get much oil out of it.
Where's the part else I can try to get it back in there?
Okay, just a minute. Did you get it? It's coming out?
Yep, you can give me that other part.
All right, let's see. Is it oil gonna come out?
Yeah, it was just dripping.
Oh, that's not too bad. Well, let's see what this sensor looks like. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna see anything wrong with it. It just is. So that was like 14 bucks, you said?
Yeah, you can get it cheaper on Rock Auto. You can buy a $2 one, but I don't know if I'd recommend that. But like I believe the Ford Motorcraft one was like $10 on Rock Auto. So.
And our local parts store had it in stock, so we just picked it up.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get that all tightened back up.
Tighten down, get the wire out, and take it for a test drive.
Hopefully that fixed the problem. Otherwise, we got other issues on our hands.
All right, so we used a deep 1/2-inch 13/16 socket, had a 1/2-inch to 3/8 adapter, and a stubby to get in there. It was pretty tight clearance. That slid right over. Problem solved. That's what you need. Let's start it up, see if it leaks.
All right.
Hey Ricky, what's going on? I see you got your cover off, timing cover, and we got an oil pump out. So what we want to talk about is some lessons learned doing the timing on the Taurus SHO, the 3.5 EcoBoost. If you're going to bother taking the time to take this engine apart, oil pumps are $90, $100, right?
Yeah.
Change the oil pump.
For a Melling brand.
Yeah, so we got a Melling oil pump for $100. We had low oil pressure. I put an actual gauge on it.
Yeah, so we did replace the pressure sending unit. That didn't help. And then you said you put
a gauge on.
And it was reading like 15 PSI.
Idle, cold, and I didn't bother warming it up. It's like the switch comes on at 10. So I want to talk about a couple lessons learned. So hold that up. So taking the timing cover off is a bear. But here, let's see the other side. So if you take the timing bolts out and run them through, there's a couple holes right here, also on the bottom. It pushes against a spot that just pushes the cover off. Makes life a lot easier. The other thing is we bought, and I think I told you last time, these timing camshaft tools, those are Lyle. They were $44. You can buy $25 ones, but from what I've heard, these Lyle, these work really well, and others have had to rework the import ones. So these are American made, they're Lyle, they work great. What you need to do to set up the timing, where's the L on that, Ricky?
That's right here.
About where he's pointing, there's an L and then there's an R for the cam. Those need to be up. Then point at the gold. So there's a dot and there's a gold chain link. Over here there's a dot
and a black chain.
And there's a black. And down at the crank,
there's a double.
Hard to see, but there's a double and it straddles that. So it's pretty easy to line this up. So we decided to check our work and spin the engine around, and it never comes back to time. And we've cranked it.
Well, it was like kind of like a pattern. It'd take a lot of rotations to get around. It'd be 1 mark off, 2 marks off, 3 marks off, 4, and then went back to 3, 2, 1, and then it started climbing back up again. So we thought we were out of timing. So for safe measure, we redid
taking it apart. And from what I'm seeing online, nobody else is spinning the engine around to check their work, which I don't understand, but we got the timing marks set. We're ready to put this back together.
Which, if you're going to be doing this, like you said, change the oil pump.
I would change everything.
It's not that hard to do.
We have new solenoids for the cam phasers, another $150. You can change them by removing the valve covers. But we had a code, pending code, that the cam timing was wrong. So I don't know if we made a mistake or if these were bad. I never checked. You had the car 2 days, we never checked for codes. And these were pending codes, so there's no check engine light.
Right.
So we should have checked that even before we bought the car.
Yeah, but I was assuming it was going to be a good car, and then by the time we would have got to the point where we were looking for codes, it was water everywhere.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to run it. So there wasn't a real opportunity to look for that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, we didn't think so. We still got to clean up this cover, and now that we've got everything set up, we got a little bit of work to do. I'm not going to show you again how we did this. It's not that hard. It's tedious.
Yeah.
But it's not difficult. All right, let's get this back together. We changed out the oil pump, and we're still having low oil pressure at idle, so it's going under 10 pounds. Get tired of working on this. So one more thing, we're going to drop the oil pan, we're going to check the screen and see if it's plugged up, and we're also going to check rods and main bearings. After that, I don't know what else we can do. We have checked it with the manual mechanical gauge. We know we truly have low oil pressure, and we changed the sensor out as well. Then we checked it. So time to drop the pan. It doesn't look too tough. I think I want to get this exhaust out of the way back here, and otherwise it looks like it'll drop straight down.
Well, we do have to get into where we sealed
front cover. Yeah. We'll get it down. We'll clean it up, seal it off.
Hopefully it's not too bad.
I mean, see what we get. Looks like air conditioning bolts up to the pan as well, so we're gonna have to take that belt off, most likely. We'll see. Take that lower bolt off. Exhaust looks like it's in the way. So first thing we'll do, oh, we got turbo drains. Yeah, we get to deal with that. Yep. Turbo drain.
Everything's in the way and connected.
All right, we're trying to drop the oil pan here, and we've got all the bolts alongside of the pan. You got to take 4 on the front cover. There's a plastic cover that covers the torque converter bolts. And
yeah,
there's
it's kind of hard to see.
2 screws up there and 4 coming in the side.
And they're the same size bolts as the front cover bolts.
Yeah,
exact same.
So now, then you've got a screw, or actually a long stud, holding the air conditioning compressor, but it pulls out far enough.
Just far enough. But we had to double nut it to
pull it out, yeah.
pull it out.
So, well, we finally popped the pan loose. I took a pry bar, and between the compressor and the pan, and very carefully, and we did get it to pop. So it's starting to move. We got the oil filter out of the way, and we'll have this thing off in a few minutes. I don't know if we got to pull this exhaust down or not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, well, we put some PB Blaster on it just in case.
Oh, also you took care of the lines going to the turbo.
Yeah, so on the front side, I took the two screws out of the turbo on the drain line because it goes into the side of the pan, and we'll just let the whole, it's a pretty short tube, we'll just let it drop.
Best case scenario when it drops is we see the pickup just clogged full of stuff. And if not, we got other problems on our hands, but we will see.
Not really too bad. We're getting the pickup off. I don't really see anything in there, but I want it off to clean it.
There's a little bit of crud, but nothing that'd be causing low oil pressure issues.
At least that we can tell right now.
All right, so yeah, we got the O2 sensor off. Downpipe came off, and this thing dropped right down. So now we are just dropping this off and gonna diagnose from there.
I'll have to drop the windage tray next and then check the bearings.
Yeah, hopefully that's...
Got really nice oil control. Show them inside the pan. Whoop.
Not too bad.
No, why don't you get something to catch this oil from a review? There is a lot of junk in here. I don't know if that's the whole problem. We're gonna check the bearings anyways, but certainly need to clean this.
Sure doesn't help.
Maybe that, or if we can just get another one.
Yeah, I doubt the parts will have it, but
Ford will have it.
yeah.
We'll find out it's a lot, and then we'll just clean this one. But yeah, dropping the motor mount, dropping the exhaust. The pan came out pretty easy. Honestly, we've only been working on it a couple hours.
Yeah.
Not knowing. So we got a 4-bolt main. We got basically the windage tray is bolted through. Remove that. We're going to quit tonight, but we're going to check all these rod bearings and all the main bearings. So once I take them out, I'm replacing them regardless. We've gone this far. See if we can get a new oil pickup.
I mean, a whole fresh build.
Bottom end anyways. We'll see. And if something's really bad, then one step at a time. All right, we're about halfway through changing out the rod bearings. Third cylinder back, the upper looks a little bit beat. Everything's not too bad. Not a lot of evidence of a lot of dirt or anything through this motor, at least. Just some wear. And so far so good. Just gonna keep at it.
So now that all the rod bearings are in, everything's all torqued, about time to get the oil pan back on, but first we have to scrape off all this old gasket material. Make sure it's all good and clean so the RTV will stick, and from there it should go pretty quick. Okay, I got all of under the car cleaned up, and now let's come over here to clean up the oil pan, which doesn't seem to be that bad, but I took this cover out of here, and there is just a bunch of grunge. And
Yeah, that's a good thing you're taking this apart and cleaning it up.
yeah, I can imagine all the other stuff we'd find in there. The bottom, I mean, it doesn't look horrible in here, but besides the fact of
Yeah, well,
bunch
get
of
her
gunk
clean.
and-
Yeah. Morning, Ricky.
So after putting it back together for the millionth time,
It's only 3.
well,
How long have you owned this car?
Oh,
Is it a month now?
probably a little over a month. Maybe put 60 miles on it.
Yeah, good times. All right.
So we just got done putting the oil pan back on,
Last night, glue's dry.
everything back together. Yeah, the RTV is dry. Put oil in it this morning. Ready to initially fire it up again.
All right.
And hopefully nothing leaks, and we take it for a test drive and warm it up and see if we get oil pressure or not.
All right. Why don't you fire it up?
Well, no one to start. The keys, I don't like the keys in it.
So of course, the
Stone
battery
dead.
stone dead.
So on this episode of the shit show, let's charge the battery. But it looks like it is pretty corroded. We got to clean that up. a
Right,
little
but
bit.
I'm right on the terminal.
Right, and we got no voltage. So
Yeah, no voltage. So we left the car in neutral, even though it was shut off. It seems like these Fords, it's their job to drain the battery if everything's not happy.
at all costs.
At all, yeah. This is not the first Ford that's done this to us. All right, she's
So let's throw her on the charger and
I got nothing now.
yeah, well,
Well,
let's get it figured out.
all right.
All right, after the battery being stone dead, we tried to put it on a charger, but solo didn't take, so we tried a different charger, and it's taking charge from that one, so everything got powered up. We just tried starting it, but it didn't work, and of course, immediately it wanted to use every bit of battery that it had to update the sink and run the chair, the seat motor back and everything. So
All the lights are on too.
all the lights are on. It just wanted to drain the battery as fast as it could start it. So we're gonna let it sit here for another minute or so and try again. All right, we got it all fired up and it starts and runs. So, but we got oil pressure as of right now. There's nothing coming on, but the real test is after it's all warmed up, if we have oil pressure. So we're gonna get it out of the shop and get it warmed up. All right, well, as you guys can see, I am in my Taurus SHO right now. Came to conclusion, couldn't come up with anything that was wrong with the car. Looked over everything, we replaced all the hard stuff. So pretty much went to last resort. I end up putting about 6 to 8 ounces of seafoam in the oil, because I read some stuff online to clear up some people's low oil pressure issues. So I did that a couple nights ago, drove the car. The next day when I got to work, it came on almost immediately. Drove it home though. Had to run a couple errands, didn't come on. Drove it to work this morning and let it sit in the parking lot idling for a couple minutes, didn't come on. And yeah, it's still not coming on after sitting a few minutes, so that might have been what needed. Just maybe just driving the car
you know, almost 100 miles, and with the seafoam in it, cleaning out any little stuff that it could be. So I think that fixes the issue, and so as of right now, our issue's fixed, and ready to tackle the other problems this car has, but not as important as the low oil pressure. So catch you in the next one, guys.